I want to make a super quick video just talking about the fear of making a change in your life. I remember when I was 17 years old, 18 years old, and I was still in construction. Um, there are two things that happened. There's one thing that happened for me, which was I realized through a series of events and through little tiny realizations that I didn't want to do construction. I was pretty conscious of it, but I kind of denied it and I coped for a long time that I didn't want to do it. And the second thing that happened was after I realized that I didn't want to do construction, I had to start figuring out what I did want to do. And I didn't know that. You see, that was the hard part. I always had this kind of cool confidence in high school that I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to go be an electrician. I was going to go make sure these lights are on. And I was going to make sure I got paid big bucks, as people would always say, and all this BS, frankly. And when I finally got into it, and I realized it's not what I wanted to do, that pride, that sense of, confidence, it was instantly gone. Right? I realized in that moment that these past couple of years of me, you know, floundering around the fact that I'm ready to go and be an electrician were all a lie because I didn't want to be one. And I had to come to the realization that everything that everybody thought I was about to be and who I was about to change. It was extremely scary because I had a image that other people had of me. There was an image that other people had of me, and now I was about to change that drastically. And it's not like I was going into some university. I wasn't going to do something typical. I was going into making money online. I was going into business, which was specifically sales. That being the best skill that is the foundation of every single successful business on earth. I was going into that. And I still remember the reason why I decided to quit construction was it was crazy. Like, you might not think it was a philosophy. You might think that like someone gave me a crazy opportunity or this or that, which was true. Like, I'm here at the agency and I've been taught by some absolute killers, but it wasn't even necessarily that because I was there and it was there several months before I actually started. What actually changed was the fact that I listened to this Alex Hermosi podcast, and he was describing how um, the average person does not know their great grandparents' names. Someone who literally descended from them, someone who's the closest in proximity to those people. Out of everyone else on the planet, whoever you are, you're watching this video, I have no clue who your great grandparents are and what their names are. Of everybody on this planet who should know, it's you, and you probably don't know either. And I thought about that, and he was talking about that idea that you will be forgotten no matter what. Like, our life seems very long and it seems great and whatnot, but everybody's going to be forgotten. You could go ahead and, it's an awful example, but you could go ahead and commit some heinous crime, and even then, you'll be forgotten. You'll die one day and things will go. When I thought about that a little bit, I just realized that I can't keep on living knowing that I'm not doing everything in my power to chase my dreams. I'll be forgotten, and my great grandparents and my great grandchildren won't know my name. That's okay. But I know my name, and I have to live with myself every single day. And simply just the thought and idea of not doing exactly what I'm passionate about daily, that was way scarier than ever taking a leap. I still remember I decided that day when I was listening to that podcast. I was on the construction site all day, and I was listening to it. And I started to do my, work a little bit worse, which is oftentimes what happens when somebody's ready to leave. They kind of drop their quality in work. Um, I remember still to that day decided I'm going to quit today. And my boss was not on site, and I was expecting him to be in the workshop where we usually were to build elevators, and he wasn't there either. Right? We got back, it was maybe 7, 8 p.m. late, and I hated that part. We got back really late. Yeah, I saw he wasn't at the shop, and I was so ready to have a conversation. It was a Friday, and I was not about to wait all weekend, right, to tell him. I wanted to put in my 2 weeks then. So I sat in my car, and I called him, and he said, "Hey, what's up? How's the day? How's the construction site? Great, everything's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Hey, John, I want to talk to you. I'm going to move on to a different opportunity, and I think I'm going to be leaving in about 2 weeks." And he took it really well, and we went ahead and we sat down for about an hour and a half at Tim Hortons and spoke about it a couple of days later. But it was actually like the following day or something like that. Maybe it was a week, I can't remember. But the point is, he took it well. But that was the scariest thing I'd ever done. I went for my guaranteed income, the thing that I'd been doing for years now, having started when I was about 17 doing co-op, and then for close to 2 years after I was in construction, I decided to leave it. I wish I started back then what I'm doing now. I'd be so much further ahead. It's crazy, but I didn't. It's okay. I'm 21 years old now. The point is, it was very, very scary, but I want every single one of you who's watched this video for the following or for the last 5 minutes to ask themselves that, right? If you know for a fact that you'll be forgotten and everything you do on this planet, on this earth, is not going to mean anything in 100, 200 years. In the couple of years that you do here, what do you want to achieve? How do you want to live? What do you want to see? What do you want to experience? And maybe if you don't know the answer to that, I would simply just ask what you're doing right now, what you do every single day, what you wake up and you repeat over and over and over and over. Is that why you're put on this earth? And if it's not, I'm not saying go ahead and quit today, but maybe that's a sign that you should start exploring something different. Maybe it's a sign that there is something else out there that probably is for you. And if you're of the philosophy that there's no such thing as a vocation, there's no such thing as what's meant for me, then I think you're going to have to prove the people who have found their vocation, who are very passionate about what they do, wrong. Okay? Because it's not likely that I think they found it and they have it and you don't, and you didn't find it. I think it's more likely that everybody has it and you simply just did not find it. And that's what it is. So that's what I recommend all of you. Do that kind of self-reflection and then take the step and take the leap. Because in all reality, there's absolutely nothing to lose. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's it.